Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Glimesh team meeting. This is the March 16th edition. For anyone who's new or anyone who needs to be reminded, this is being live streamed over the internet and recorded, and it will be republished to YouTube. If you don't consent to that, please don't talk in chat or please don't talk in voice chat. Thank you. All right, so let's get started here. So we've got a pretty normal team meeting for everyone. Nothing crazy is going to happen here today. So just want to prepare everyone for that. I am recording. Thank you. Yep. So let's look first at our weekly metrics. So the first things we like to look at is, how our social media presence did last week. Social media is very important for us to keep growing, keep expanding, keep finding new viewers and new streamers and bringing them on the platform. In the last week, we had, after the launch week was crazy. The week after launch week was crazy. And now we're kind of like settling back into a routine. So on Discord, we had 118 new users. Twitter had 199. Reddit had a measly 18. Come on, Reddit. Instagram had 52. And then Facebook had 45. You can see over here on our platform user growth, we did hit this huge peak of people who were hearing about us for the first time, and then they all registered, they all made their accounts, and so now we're kind of slowing back down. I expect, this is the beginning of the week, so this is going to change dramatically. We'll probably be around right here, which is probably about 2,000 new users a week, and that'll kind of even out. So yeah, for users, we're up about 2,000. I expect that's going to be kind of where we stick. And then on the app side, we are up by 51, which is kind of cluttered at the moment. People are making apps for any and all reasons. It's not very indicative of our developers. And then on the MRR side, we are up on MMR by about $1,350 combined with platform subscriptions and channel subscriptions. And then support tickets, we had 125 new support tickets last week. There was a whole bunch, and it was a combination of user reports, things like, hey, this stream is doing something bad. It was, just questions, and it was like account issues as well. All right. The next slide is kind of new. It's going to be impossible to read some of this, and that's okay. I'll just talk over it. So on the left side, what we have here is our website traffic. Like I said, I think some amount of decay is acceptable. So, launch week or launch day had our traffic way up. It wouldn't even be on the screen right now. And then as we're kind of solidifying, this is the 9th of March, we're starting to kind of fit back more into our normal traffic pattern. And we're still pretty quiet on social media. So we're not doing any events. We're not inviting people to flock to the platform in masses. We're still trying to get our bearing, make sure that our servers are stable, make sure our code is working, our payouts are working before we really start before we start inviting the world again. So we're starting to learn kind of what that normal traffic flow is. I also included, some people asked last time, where the users are coming from. I included that at the very bottom. Yeah, Twitter is a huge amount of visits, even from day one. We get a majority of our visits from Twitter, but we also do a majority of our posting on Twitter. Twitter is probably the 99% place where we tweet and post updates and news. So there's certainly a lot of traffic from that. Surprisingly, Facebook is the third. We're pretty small on Facebook. And then Bing is actually just Hayden binging Glimesh so he can get to the site. So I wouldn't worry about that metric.
Gotta get those Bing rewards.
Right.
Hashtag sponsored. And then thankfully, we've got two awesome community apps, Pixel Chat and Aircast, that are now linking to our site and starting to drive in users. Most of those users are just authenticating their account, but that does mean those are real users of both of our services. And then on the right here is our Twitter graph. This is for this is a 28-day summary, which shows how many times we're tweeting, how many impressions we're getting, that kind of stuff. And then the chart on the bottom, I don't know if I can do this. Oh God, Jesus!
Oh,
Oh, I just
So
can't.
close.
I can't scroll without changing the slide. Okay, so this is basically bandwidth. So this is you can imagine that this is all the streamers that are live and all the viewers that are live and what they're consuming. So on the very top, what we're showing is our streamer nodes, which is where streams are sending their data to. It's color coded by the region. And the bottom is viewers. So how viewers are, what what video viewers are viewing. Um, and you can actually see that there's a real there's a real curvature here where people are like waking up in America, then they're going to work for a little while, and then they're coming home at night, and basically we see this every day, and then we've got lulls at the bottom. So this will also show us over time, hopefully, where our traffic's coming from, what servers we need to scale up, what servers we need to scale down. If all of a sudden we're seeing a whole bunch of Singapore usage, we probably need more Singapore servers. And so this will kind of let us monitor that over time. Yeah, nighttime USA is the biggest peak of streaming. That'll be right here. Ignore this guy. I don't know what the hell he is. That's fake news. But these are real. Sure, Miss Pixels. It's not exactly indicative of like when the best time to stream is, because you can see they do correlate, right? The number of streamers is up, but the number of viewers is also up, and this is a 2-day snapshot, so that's the day before. So we'll share this. I mean, it'll be on the slide here, and then if anyone's curious to drill down exactly, we do have reporting software that'll let us do that. All right. Next up is financials. So we're 3 weeks into launch at this point. First things first, on the left-hand side, I changed the reporting interval for this, so the data is going to look different than last month. So the data is going to look different than last month. MRR is still accurate. That's still monthly recurring revenue, but the net volume is for that particular week. It's only negative because in the last week, which includes last Wednesday, when we paid out to streamers, we haven't recouped that cost yet. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Basically, that just means that we ended up, paying out $1,847, and we're still, lacking for $520 to recoup for this week. Although that's technically last week, so I'm not going to try and explain that anymore. And then the last week, we had 217 new subscribers to the platform. Another thing I included down here, it's kind of small, hard to see. We have about a 17% subscriber churn right now. So of the subs, whether it be channels or platforms, about 17 of those are canceling their subscription after the first month, which is perfectly fine, but that's a number that we're going to want to keep our eyes on. If that goes high, if it goes up to 30%, we're going to have to kind of start asking some questions there. And then the last thing I wanted to call out here is we're approaching a point where we're going to have to start paying for hosting, not only for servers, but also bandwidth. DigitalOcean, who is our partner for web hosting, if you will, they gave us $10,000 of credits to basically get started on their platform, get familiar with it. And so it's basically $10,000 of free dollars. Now, being the responsible business we are, we basically ignored those free credits and did all of our cost analysis as if they never existed, pretending that we had to pay from day one. How do we make this thing profitable? So we've been doing that. We've been trying to make it profitable, trying to understand exactly how much it's going to cost. And so right now, as of last week team meeting, as of this team meeting, we're still 100% profitable, even if we ignored the credits. So even if we ignored, the 10,000 they gave us, we're still perfectly, profitable. And again, when we say profit, we're not talking about, going to the bank and buying some ice cream. We're talking about just the service existing for the next month. If we reach a point where we're not profitable each month, then that's when we have to start making hard decisions, or we have to funnel our own money into it to keep it going. So real quick on the right here, I'm just going to show you. Right now, our infrastructure cost is $1,200-ish, and then our bandwidth cost, which is kind of, as long as your stream is live, you're using bandwidth. The bandwidth cost is currently, as of right now, the 16th, about $1,700. If I had to guess, it would probably be about $3,000 by the end of the month. And so, with our quote unquote budget being the credits being ignored, we would still be profitable for the month at about 1,500 less than this number. But of course, subscriptions aren't going to stop now. They're going to keep coming in through the rest of the week. So, through the rest of the month. So we'll keep watching this. I've got a better profit and loss statement that we can show maybe next time. I'm still working on it. But this for now is the best I have. To reiterate, we are perfectly profitable. We're going to continue to exist and serve you next month. Currently, the subscriptions that you all have given us, not only from a channel subscription, but a platform subscription, they're perfectly paying for all the servers. We're putting all the remainder into our war chest so that we can keep existing. Even if we have a bad month, we'll still be able to, afford the servers. All right, I'm gonna keep moving here. If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them at the end of the stream. Other than what people are already answering, that is. All right, so next up is some wins. So it was a pretty quiet week on the feature side, but we got a lot of important things in. The first one is we were having issues with chat moderation, where some of our streamers were being, actively targeted and harassed with, hateful messages and spam, and a bunch of racial slurs and all sorts of nonsense that is completely unacceptable on our platform. And we were having an issue where there were just so many, like it was one user in this specific example, but they were able to create so many accounts ahead of time that they were able to keep spamming that chat with all of these fresh accounts. So what we've done is we've added a couple of new safety features for your chat. The first thing you can do is you can require users to confirm their email before they chat. So you have to make sure that they've confirmed their email, they make sure it's good. And the other thing you can do is you can require that their account has was created how many hours ago. So you could, for example, make sure that all accounts are created 24 hours in advance of chatting in your stream. So combined with these two things, it should give you a leg up. It should be a little bit better. But we're going to keep working on different safety features for chat, making sure that you can't spam, making sure that you can't post racial slurs, in chat in general. We're definitely going to work on that. And then hopefully over time, we can kind of have an edge up on the, harassment. Now, unfortunately, it is a losing battle before we've even started. As we get smarter with security, trolls are going to get smarter with bypassing the security. So they're going to create botnets, and they're going to create all sorts of spam bots, and they're going to use different variations of the word that we never blocked, and they're going to use VPNs, and so it's like we're going to keep fighting this fight. That's our job. We're here to do that, but they're going to keep we're going to keep having issues. So when you see it, report it, let us know, and we'll work on fixing it. The second thing is there was, I don't know if anyone has seen it, I'm sure you have. Whenever you click on gaming or art, for example, and the streams load, their thumbnails load kind of slow. That's a problem that we're working on fixing, unrelated. But one of the things that was happening is when the image loads in, it was super tiny. And then as they all loaded, it would just kind of pop your entire page down, and it would kind of alter everything very quickly. We fixed that. We made it so it now always takes up a rectangle. And then we also added a fallback. So if we can't load the thumbnail for some reason, it doesn't just break the stream. You could still click on it. You can still go to it. There's alt text to make sure the user knows what it is. And so it's a little bit better now. All right. And then the next thing is we added a confirmation before you unfollow a stream to ask, are you sure you wish to unfollow? And the last thing here, Paco, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah. So what we've done is we have come up with a system whereby anybody that wants to contribute to the Glimesh knowledge base will have a way to do that now. Um, it's not something that is just out open everywhere because it's nice to have a place to the side, but it is open to anybody who is interested. So if you would like to do that, just send me a DM on Discord and we'll get you set up. But essentially, the way it's going to work is we have a channel for you to ask questions. If you're writing an article, um, you will write them in Google Doc, and then we have a Trello board to organize everything. And you will choose a card, do the article, and then when you're done, you post a link to your Google Doc in there, and it will get reviewed by a GCT member and added to the knowledge base.
Nice. Thanks, Paco.
Yes, sir.
All right, and I think Hayden wants to talk about some FTL wins.
Yep. So first off, some folks might have noticed there's a bug we've been tracking that apparently dates back to the Mixer days, where streams would stutter occasionally. You might notice every 2 seconds you get a little stutter every so often. So we've been doing a lot of analysis on this. Dan has been doing packet analysis with Wireshark. And we have a couple of mitigations that we've identified that we're going to start testing soon. So hopefully we see some streams smoothing out. In addition to that, there's a change list on the right there. We've got a whole bunch of changes that should reduce crashes and deadlocks in servers. So hopefully you'll see better uptime. You'll see better stream stability. And we will see fewer crashes and less memory corruption. If you have any details, or if you want any details, you can join the dev channel on the Discord and ask questions, or you can check out the GitHub. I think that's it.
Cool, thanks. And I said this earlier, kind of in one of our private channels, but we're really on the cusp of things here. This this bug at the top here is is a seemingly inconsequential bug when you look at it, because it's a frame that's sometimes missing. But I think one of the things that I'm really excited about is what differentiates us from others is that we took this bug seriously. We're here to provide a really good streaming solution, right? And we want to make sure that FTL, which is the technology we've chosen to embrace, works for you, right? We want it to work for you. We want to help support you. We want to help get it configured correctly for you. And we even want to help you, talk to your ISP and yell at them and tell them to give you better internet. We want to help you do these things because we think that you deserve the FTL streaming experience, the low latency. So I'm super excited about these changes and getting these out. I think I've been personally streaming for 2 days now. I've had nothing but great experiences. So we've already made huge, leaps and bounds from the first week. And I think after this, we're going to keep improving, and then we'll really start to fix even these like niche problems that Mixer didn't fix for years. And so that, to me, that's exciting because we're actually making this technology real. All right, and then some challenges. So I know everyone is familiar with the various bugs we have going on. We're still working on them. There's a lot to do. We're trying to make sure our priority is focused. Right now, we're focused on some of these persistent bugs, things like chat scrolling, things like your streams going offline, things like you're not showing up as actually live when you're still streaming, or not showing up on the channel list. Those are not good, right? We don't want you to experience those bugs. So they're definitely very high priorities for us. Unfortunately, some of them are really hard to reproduce, like chat scrolling, but we're making progress on them. Things like streams going offline, Hayden just talked about that. We've already got fixes in. We're working on even more fixes for that. And then I think the not showing up as live is actually related to that first one. So I'm excited to see these get fixed, but I did want to call them out. I wanted to say that, we know that the problems you're having are real problems, and we want to fix them. We want to get them done. And then the next thing I wanted to hit on is I understand that the tag system is also very challenging. There's a lot of streamers who are, confused by the interface or who don't understand the feature exactly. and that's really on us, right? That's on us to fix. That's on us to make better. That's on us to educate and inform. There's some streamers that use multiple tags, for games, even though they're not playing that game. There's tags that are kind of in the wrong area that aren't exactly, we have art tags in gaming now. We have, music tags and, education. And then the UI is a little confusing. So we are working on some improvements to the tag system. Nothing's solidified yet. We've got a couple of prototypes that we're working on. One of the prototypes is actually adding what are called subcategories, which allow you to say exactly what you're doing. To say that you're playing this game, or you're creating this form of art, or you're teaching this particular topic, as opposed to it just being thrown inside of a tag list with chill stream and family friendly and all that stuff. It'll be an actual way to filter down, and that's called subcategories. So hopefully we'll have something to show soon. We're probably going to want to test out the idea a little bit, and then iterate on it, and then hopefully release it eventually. All right. And then as a reminder, we're not immediately jumping into phase 2 here. We're still not quite ready for that. I know that a lot of people are excited to get to phase 2, phase 3, Xbox app, all that kind of thing, all that kind of stuff. Those are down the road. Even phase 2 is down the road. Right now we're working on, again, stabilizing what we have, making sure it's good and comfortable for you, because then we really want to start, growing out the platform. And in the meantime, we work on these, new features. So right now, main focus is tag improvements and FTL stability. And then the next thing we want to do is actually reprioritize the roadmap. Phase 2 isn't necessarily the phase 2 that we need to have anymore. Some of these things may be more important, less important. We may want to swap them around. So it's time to have that conversation.
And some of them are done.
And some of them are done already, right? Pop-out chat, for example. And then, once we've kind of reprioritized that roadmap, then, we get building again. So that's kind of where we're at. As always, we're not going to do this alone. We're built by the community. We're for the community. We're going to make sure that when we design this roadmap, it's done collaboratively. It's done, as a team. Custom emotes was right here, phase 3. All right, and then the last thing I wanted to touch on here, make sure your stream settings are correct. If you're having issues with FTL, if you're having stuttering, I think, here, let me pull up the statistic earlier. Apparently, at least 120 of our streaming help tickets so far have been people with incorrect encoder settings. And it's important that you use the right encoder settings, because it can end up causing some problems with FTL. Just because the setting works great on Twitch, just because the setting works great on YouTube, doesn't mean it's going to work at all on Glimesh. That's why we publish this. That's why I recommend this. And I just wanted to remind everyone. If you do need help, we do have a streaming-help channel that lets you make a little ticket, and then we can hopefully help you out. We do the best we can. We've encountered issues with, hardware. We've encountered issues with internet providers. We've encountered issues with encoder settings. So we're here to help. Let us know, but double check your settings.
The Posh Banana 900p streaming is okay, yes.
George Foreman Girl, you might have missed it. Right now, we're not doing anything to advertise to new users. We're kind of just trying to stabilize, trying to provide a great platform, and then once we feel confident, then we're going to really start blasting it. All right, and then the last thing, we're here to support you, right? You have issues. We've got support@glimesh.tv. That's an email address. You can email that. We also have support.glimesh.tv, which is a website, which you can go to find all sorts of helpful topics. We also have our Discord, bugs, questions, suggestions, streaming help. And then if you want to reach out on Twitter, we've got Twitter. All right. That is it, unless I missed anything.
I grabbed a couple of questions throughout. Do you want to do it on the recording or what?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Posh Banana asked, will FTL continue to keep up with the growth of new users? Because I think that's coming from on Mixer. When it got later on and there was a lot of people using it, that low latency started getting not quite as low as it had been.
Yeah, me and Hayden talked about this. It's not exactly clear what was happening at Mixer. We have no idea the intricacies of their business, the intricacies of their servers, how FTL worked, how they were able to distribute video. But in the solution that Hayden has designed and along with the rest of the team, we don't think that viewership is going to be an issue. We have an idea of being able to essentially relay streams across servers to deliver it to you, but none of those things really involve slowing the stream down any more than just relaying those bytes to you. So unless I'm missing something huge, I don't think that there's anything about FTL that is going to prevent us from growing. I don't think that would be an FTL specific problem.
All right. Let's see. Balzac asked, could you explain how safety payment security is?
Oh yeah, so we use Stripe, so that's the first thing to know. And Stripe is it was actually just valued as the most valuable startup in America. It just surpassed SpaceX in value. So we use Stripe. They handle all your payment information. We never even see it. We never touch it. We know nothing about it. We actually only link to you in your card with a Stripe identifier. So we don't even know your card. We don't even know your address. We don't know your zip code. We don't know any of that data. None of that data is hosted on our servers. So Stripe themselves is extremely secure. They process payments in the billions, probably trillions now, but they do it every day. It's their bread and butter. So we're as secure as they are. Hope that helps.
All right. Trey Certified asked, will you be able to add people on the left side of our page to see who is live that we are following so we would be able to host or raid them?
I think what we have today is the ability to click on following and then see those people. I don't know where the design of the website's going to take us in the future. It's not exactly planned to add a sidebar that shows the followers that you have, but we do have the following tab at the top.
And I mean, also, we don't have hosting or rating at the moment.
Sure we do.
Anyways.
You spam that link in chat.
Not the auto hosting that people are talking
that
about
is
when they say hosting.
OG rating. There's no better rate experience
Oh, without a doubt.
than spamming a link in chat. No, I get it. We definitely we had hosting and rating planned for phase 2-ish originally. That's a very requested feature though. I don't think we'd push off rating. It's also pretty simple. You would just point the users to a new stream. Doesn't sound very difficult.
Dad Gamer asked, what's the plans for advertisement to grow, as currently my current platform does not advertise?
Yeah, so our original plans were to grow. James, our original plans to grow was to essentially, work with the streamers who choose to represent Glimesh. People who have great quality streams, who are happy with what they do, who have nice positive vibes. We would actually partner with them, and I don't want to say partner, so let me clarify. We would work with them to actually publish their streams. So maybe take a clip of their content, blast it out on our social media, put it as a paid ad on TikTok, and then we would use that as a way of not only growing that streamer, growing their audience, but growing the platform at the same time, right? Because once we bring viewers into the platform, our job is to keep those viewers there, is to keep them discovering new streamers, discovering other types of content they may want. They may be clicking from TikTok into Clinton 18 stream, but Clinton 18 just has dumb, boring programming streams, and they find out, Paco streams Fortnite. I love Fortnite, right? And so
Oh no,
even,
don't do that.
even though we're only, sponsoring Clone 18, other people win too because, they're not always the right type of content. So that's kind of our plan is just paid advertising, word of mouth. We're really hoping to jazz up some media attention and really just kind of use that as a way to kind of start growing. And then I think it's going to be more of a nice linear curve upwards, not a overnight, explosion. I hate Fortnite, by the way. I'm not. It's the first game that comes to mind besides World of Warcraft. So
I'd rather play WoW, thanks. Squeakcalf asked, other than streaming and oh, I'm sorry, Christoph, I
I'm
didn't mean to
not
interrupt you
discriminating
in the
against
middle of
Fortnite.
my
I'm just
sentence.
saying I don't enjoy it as a game. It's the worst MMO I've ever
Sure,
played.
Paco.
I'll just
I'll
say
listen
that.
to you, Paco.
Just wait for Clone.
I've heard that Apex Legends and Apex Charts is a really good game.
That's why nothing gets done, right, Paco?
Yeah,
All
right.
what's the next
Tell me
question?
about it. Squeakcalf said, other than streaming and hopefully earning subs to generate actual income for Glimesh, what are the most important things we can be doing to help this platform succeed? I think she means as a community.
Advertise. Let people know. Promotion, right?
Tell your friends.
Yeah, but I also think it's help us grow not only in a way of like finding new people, but help us grow by suggesting things, by helping work on Glimesh, by finding bugs and reporting them. All those things can really help us out. So I would say anything you can do to help build the community, that's a great place to start.
I think also something good that the community can be doing is to make sure that, to help make sure our community stays the way it is. So if you find somebody streaming something that they should not be streaming or doing something they shouldn't be doing or any of that kind of stuff, then please do report them so we can know about that. The team constantly is going around and looking at streams, but we can't be everywhere all the time. So we really rely on ports to bring important things to our attention. And also, some of you have seen that we've added, you can say where a stream happened at. I found it's very helpful if you can just copy the link out of the address bar and throw it in either the notes or whatever when you make that report, and we can jump straight to that stream immediately and see what's going on as soon as we get that report. That is super helpful for us.
Yeah, I think our response time for reports is like under a minute. We get the ticket in, and we already have 3 GCT members checking it out.
It's actually a really interesting problem because people are not ready to get a response that fast. So they don't check their email and they come back like 4 hours later and they're like, oh shit, I saw this sitting there. My bad.
Yeah, the support is always good for Glimesh unless your ticket gets routed to Clone 18 and then you have a bad day.
You'll wait 2
Yeah.
weeks.
You'll wait 2 weeks or more.
Yeah. Clone merges his emails with his PRs.
I'm still waiting.
All right. Any other questions we want to have on the recording?
Beware the Dread said, will the response time go down over time as the site grows? Absolutely. Yes, it will.
Yes.
It's going to have to. But we'll do the best we can, obviously. We want to get to things as soon as we can. We want to be able to get out there and help people with whatever issues they're having. Am I sure? I am sure, yes.
Yeah, you can't just throw more people at it. It doesn't.
Yeah. There
doesn't
comes a
scale.
point where it's just it's not feasible to have a 15-minute response time.
With 50 million users.
Yeah. So if all goes well, yes, we will be slower.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end the recording. We'll stick around for a couple more questions, and then I've got a jet, unfortunately. Thank you everyone for watching the YouTube video. Thank you for attending the stream. See ya.